Hi Ravi, good morning, brother, and I welcome you here on this conversational video. Before even starting, give a brief introduction about yourself so that we can proceed further this conversation. Yep.
A very good morning, Anshu. First of all, I would like to thanks for accepting my invitation. And let me introduce myself. My name is V. Ravishankar Reddy. I'm from Andhra Pradesh. I'm from especially from Kadapa district. Uh, Currently, I'm pursuing my B.Tech. I am in final year, final semester right now. And my CV stream is computer science and engineering, specialization in artificial intelligence and machine learning. My hobbies are reading political biography books, watching political podcasts, and also trying to interact with more people across the India in order to improve my fluency in English.
Perfect, perfect. Despite of saying that coming from this technical background, how your drive comes to work on your communication? Because having said that, people who are being engaged with like doing such as technical degrees, B.Tech, PCA, MCA, they are more focused on to their tech knowledge. But there are few people I feel that they are also, concerned about their communication. So how this journey had been started?
Actually, Anshu, I would like to add one point here. Um, every B.Tech student, I mean, every technical background student should learn English because they have to appear in the interviews. They have to uh, answer the questions in English only.
Correct.
First of all, the uh, first impression is the good impression, right? They need to introduce themselves to others. They need to speak. They need to interact very well with others. Even though if you have a good skills in technical background, but if you don't, if any person he or she don't have good communication skills, then it will be definitely a you know a minor mistake of their selves.
Correct.
Therefore, I would like to suggest every person, like whether he belongs to technical or non-technical background, please try to learn English because most of the people in the world speak English in more percentage.
Mm-hmm. True.
And coming to myself, I learned English because I am very enthusiastic to speak in English because I want to be a good public speaker.
Okay.
Especially, I would like to be a good public speaker, and I would like to speak in front of more number of people in English, especially. That's why this is the first reason. And the second reason is just it's a normal reason. I also have to appear in interviews, in conferences.
Mm.
So I'm also learning English to appear in these type of sectors like uh, interviews and conferences.
Okay, got your point. Because your short-term goal is to be best or good public speaker, and also
Public
because of
speaker.
got it, got it. And also you also wanted because of your internship, and you'll have to appear in interviews because you already mentioned that same like me, you are also running in your final semester. Correct, correct, got it. So how's this journey had been started? Like I feel that because you come from Andhra Pradesh, your study medium would be the state board, or like you come from CBSE since your childhood. How was whole schooling work for you?
Actually, brother, I came from state board. I
Okay.
just studied in state board. I never studied in CPSE board. Up to my 12th class, I studied in state board. And although I come from English medium, but also I didn't have environment to interact with people, interact with my friends
Correct.
in English.
Hmm.
I also felt hesitate while speaking English with others because in my mind always it runs like what the others will feel about our mistakes, what the
Hmm.
others. Most of the people also try to laugh at our English, even though they are
Hmm.
bad than others, bad than mine.
Hmm.
They try to start laughing at my English. So because of these decisions, I avoided learning English in my school journey and in my college journey. But after entering into my B.Tech, I feel that English is very most important thing because I already said that every technical person or non-technical person should uh, give their interviews
Interviews.
or any other sort of things in
Okay.
order to success in their lives. Mm, because of that, I started learning English in 2021 and I installed the application called S Fluency. Uh, I'm not promoting this only application. There are so many applications in the market right now. This is digital era.
Mm-hmm.
I installed S Fluency application and during my initial days, I used it to ask only three questions to the other code learners. Those are where are you from? What is your name? And what do you do for a living? After asking these three questions, I was disconnecting their calls. That means I don't have a courage, I don't have a dare to speak with others.
Mm-hmm.
I used to feel hesitation while speaking to others. But again, I restarted my journey in since I mentioned I'm in the final semester right now. I again restarted my journey in this semester, and I started speaking in English. I think it has been nearly 25 days. I have been speaking English consistently. During my initial days, I used it to speak nearly for 3 to 4 hours in this application. I nearly used it to spend 3 to 4 hours in the application called as Fluency. So I don't say that I'm better in grammar, I'm better in fluency, but I can say one thing that I improved my confidence levels.
Mm.
Uh, So that's why I would also like to suggest your subscribers, any viewers who watch this video, please try to use the applications present in the market, even though without any subscription, they give nearly half an hour free time to speak,
Correct.
which is more than enough daily to speak in English. So I would like to suggest, please use these opportunities so that you would also become a good public speaker, a good communicator in English.
Perfect.
That's
Perfect.
all from my side, Anshu.
Okay. Okay. Like as you mentioned that initially only half an hour or 20 minutes is being sufficient to start your journey in this communication. Yeah, you really said it very well because little changes embrace a big result, I guess. Great. So, like Ravi, let me know that other than just speaking onto these applications like as Fluency, there are a lot more applications, Joe's Talk, or people used to connect their strangers are having a talk in English. So that's how this improvement circle works. But except being regular on these applications, what were other things what you were doing in order to better at your English and your communication?
Okay, it's a good question, Anshu. First of all, I would like to say one thing. I met you in Ace application initially.
Mhm.
You suggested me to do these four techniques to learn any kind of language, whether it is English, whether it is Hindi, any kind of language.
Mhm.
Like, first of all, the person should know how to write in that language. The person should know how to speak in that language. That the person should know how to read in that language. And the person should also know how to,
Listen in this
read,
language.
write, listen.
Correct.
Yes, listen
Correct.
in this language. Correct. Mm, most of the people, especially talking about English, most of the people knows how to read and how to write in English because reading and writing are even they can listen in English very well. They can understand English very well. But the main problem nowadays is to speak in English. It's the main
Mm.
problem. Most of the people can't speak in English nowadays. You also mentioned some applications like JoStalks. Even I would also like to add some more applications like JoStalks, Ace Fluency, CV application. CV application is also a wonderful application. It gives nearly half an hour time to each and every co-learner, even though if he or she does not have any subscription in that application,
Mm.
like High Local, uh, etc. These are those applications which are very better in the market right now. If you try to use this application and try to spend at least half an hour, If you try to install 2 3 applications, you can daily spend nearly 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes, especially. You can have a talk with strangers so that your confidence levels will boost, your fluency will also increase. I would like to add one more point. Fluency is nothing but most of the people say that fluency is not like talking the correct grammar. Fluency is like, you should speak very well without having any break in the communication, without having any, without having applying any break in the communication. Don't, I would also like to suggest to you, to the viewers, don't try to rephrase the sentence if it
Hmm.
became wrong. If it became wrong, don't let the other persons know your weakness points. Just go on smoothly, just speak fluently.
Hmm.
Although you thought that you spoke any mistake, but don't try to rephrase the sentence again. Just speak comfortably, just speak uh, 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 next words, just speak the next sentences, so that let the other person don't doesn't know your mistake.
Got it, got it. So, like, you really explained these things well, and thank you for your recommendation to the people who are watching this video. However, if I just ask the same question to you, that other than listening, other than this, speaking thing on various application, how do you use reading practice? How you are practicing listening, and how you are practicing writing? What are the things you were doing in order to be better at this language? Because you mentioned it that once we had a talk, you started working somewhere on this particular aspect of this language. Yeah.
Yes. There are some stages in learning English. The first stage is to improve your confidence levels.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to speak while you are speaking. And the second level is to improve the grammatical mistakes. And the third level is to improve the good vocabulary. Try to add a good vocabulary in your sentences, in your speech, so that the other person know you are better and you are a good communication. You good communicator. And you said that I applied these 4 things. Frankly speaking, I also started downloading some newspapers like Hindu, Deccan Chronicle, Indian Express, Economic Times, etc. These were very famous papers in the market right now. Because of these papers, I what I did was, during my initial days, that means after your session, I started reading 1 or 2 articles every day. I started noting down the good vocabulary words that the newspaper publisher used those words,
Mm.
so that I try to I try to uh, read some vocabulary and try to write their meanings in vocabulary, and also try to implement those words in the sentences. It's very important. If
Right.
you don't implement those words in the sentences, you will definitely forget those things, forget those words. And try to keep on revising every day and try to use in the real time talk.
Mm. Okay.
Try to use in the real time talk in different applications. And I also, during my initial days, I was just confused how to, how to connect the dots between present, past, and future. Are you getting my point, Anshu?
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Present, like this one, what you mentioned.
Some people suggested,
Like, sorry to bother you, interrupt you, brother. Like, please
yes,
elaborate this. Like, what does it stand for connecting the dots between present, past, and future? Will you not able to frame the sentences in
definitely, definitely.
all those tenses, or it was something different for you? What exactly it stands for?
Yes. While I was speaking in the past, I used to say the past tense in the present itself. So
Okay.
most of the speakers didn't understand the what kind of scenario I am explaining, what kind of scenario I am describing in the situation.
Mm,
So one of my friend also suggested me to read some storybooks,
mm,
like children's storybooks, moral storybooks, etc. If you read one story every day, it nearly 3 to 4 paras, just 3 to 4 paras. If any person, he or she, is suffering to connect the dots between past, present, and future, if he or she try to read one story every day before going to bed, mm, and also write the type of the tenses they used while speaking, especially in story describing or explaining the stories. The author use only past tense, but
mm.
uh, how the past tense is used in those storybooks. If you try to get, if you try to, sorry, can you please drink some water?
Yeah, yeah, take
I'm
your.
feeling thirsty. Yes, if you try to add some of the tenses, like whether it belongs to simple past, past perfect, etc., you would come to know that how the author is describing the story to the readers. If you try to understand these dots, if you try to understand these sentences very well, even though they use only simple vocabulary, even though they use simple vocabulary, but you can understand what kind of tenses he was using in the story. So this is how I connected the dots between
Okay.
present, past, and future.
Got it, got it, got it. Like it's more about the grammatical part, I feel, right? That you must
Yes,
know
yes,
that
it's
where
it's
to
more
use,
about the
what to use in past, present, and future, right? This would be perfect, correct? Like otherwise, people would be understanding we are talking something different, right? If we are not clear about the tense, this is a basic thing. We'll have to figure it out. So, okay, now we get that because you started reading practice of those newspapers, cuttings, and some of the storybooks, that's where you get the structure of the sentence, how to frame the sentences, right? Even you get the vocabulary.
yes, yes, yes,
So this is very important.
yes.
And do you also, I mean, did you also started doing the writing practice?
As I said earlier, brother, I know how to write English because I also came from the English background only. I
Mm-hmm.
studied up to my 12th class in English medium. I know writing. I can also understand how the others explaining in English, and I also can read English very well. But my problem is with communication skills. I don't, I already said that I during my initial days, I felt very hesitate to speak with others.
Mm-hmm.
So I improved in my weakness point, that is speaking skills.
Speaking skills. Okay, 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 okay. Got it, got it. So, what are your hobbies, by the way, Ravi? Like, once I feel that this is your final semester is running, you might be not having that much of free time. But however, if you get free time, what are the things what you love doing in your free time? Are you a sporty person? You love to play outdoor games, or what exactly you do in your free time?
Okay, and so definitely in my spare time, I already said that uh, I watch a political podcast. I am
Mm,
very much interested in my state politics, and also I like to watch Mahabharata. I also like to
mm,
watch Mahabharata. It's my childhood hobby also. I have been watching Mahabharata since from my eighth standard. Mm, yes, these were the things I do when I was free.
okay.
If I get any spare time.
Okay, okay, okay. So do you feel like, do you consider yourself as a spiritual person, or because you mentioned Mahabharata, and I feel that you must be also, going through with Bhagavad Gita. So what do you understand by spirituality, and do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
Mm, uh, I don't have a good answer for that because I never, I never considered me as a spiritual person. But the teachings done by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita are very helpful to the students in nowadays,
Hmm.
because most of the students are don't accepting the problems also. Most of the what Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita is Even though if you get any problems, try to accept those problems and try to, you know, uh, try to solve these problems. Don't worry, I was with you. Lord Krishna was with us.
Mhm.
But most of the people nowadays, even they are become, I don't know why they don't consider, they don't accept any problems also.
This is great learning, right? Firstly, I feel if you do have any shortcoming or weaknesses, the accepting and acknowledging that weakness is the very first important thing in order to reform this or in order to get better at this. You said it really well. However, Ravi, if you have any questions for me, like you can also ask. Don't feel that this is the one go session. I would be asking questions. This is more about general random conversational video, right? So feel free to ask any of the question if it comes in your mind, right? Okay.
Okay, Anshu, when I met you initially, mm, you said that after you just completed the gate examination, you spoke with me.
Hmm.
Why? Can I know the audience know why you are interested in speaking your improving your communication skills, and what is the main motive behind that?
Okay. Sorry, what was your first question? Why or like when?
Uh, yes, yes. My first question is: you just spoke with me after just completion of your gate examination. That I'm asking why you are very much excited, why you are very much interested to improve your vocabulary, improve your grammatical errors. Uh, is there any motive behind that? Is there any something past story behind that?
Great, great. Like, yeah, it absolutely like everything comes from a interesting story. So it is going to take a little bit time, but I would be try to, just try to explain in a very brief manner. So what happens because I also completed whole my schooling till my 12th in my state board. That is obviously Hindi. So there I was not get that much exposure to speak this language. Even though I was pretty good at the grammar, if somebody gave me a Hindi sentence, I could able to translate it in English in very fast manner because I was good at this. I was very good at the grammar. But as far as the speaking comes, I was really not able to even introduce me in far better manner. So you could understand my situation. So once
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
came to the college, it really I felt nobody told me directly that you're not good at this, but something we started getting realized, right? As you mentioned that some people do not accept their shortcoming, but I'm that kind of person. If I believe and if I even sense of realize that I'm lagging somewhere, I just acknowledge it and started, removing those shortcoming. So at the very first day of college, I got this realization that Anshuman, you are not really good at this language. I'm not talking about communication. I'm just talking about this language English, right? Because there I'll have to introduce me. Even that is not mandatory to give the introduction in English. But because of peer pressure, everybody around me was giving the introduction in English. I thought, yeah, let's take a chance. But once I stood up and started giving my introduction, oh my God, I was blank. Even I was not able to introduce me in a good manner in English. I thought, okay, I should work. Came back, started figuring out the things that what are the things where I could be able to, even so that I was looking for something so that I would be getting that kind of English so that I can express my feeling more better. I was not looking
Yes,
for
yes.
fluency or like this. I was just looking for that much English so that even I can express my feelings and thought in the far better manner. So that's where this journey had been started. And since then, it's already been more than 2.5 years, almost 3 years. Because of that one incident, I always look up to this language at the very first hand. I started taking it for the granted. Whatever things it took me to, reform my English, I did it. Like for as I mentioned that speaking, I was also using the as fluency as we made there, right? So I do have a very great
Yes.
experience, and I had already connected there with I guess more than 500 people in the last 2.5 years. Talked with them, even not onto this application. Now I feel that once I'm being any kind of social or physical place, I like to interact with strangers. Whomever I'm being surrounded with, I started interacting with them just to know their thought and perspective that how their, point, what is their point of view in terms of life, how they see their future. I mean, just to have a conversation because I feel more socialized with them. So coming back to your question that after that gate exam why I came and I was enthusiastic with that because I was already doing this practice from last 2.5 years. It became my habit. And in this process of being bettering on this language, I feel that now it's being one of my evolving hobbies to talk with a stranger, just to know their self, that how, what they think about their life, what is their mindset, right? And once we connect with something, because you also coming from Andhra Pradesh, I am from UP, so we started also getting to know your culture, right? We get a thought
Yes,
of connectivity. We feel that we are being connected. We live in a joint society. We live in an India that is united. So that's where these things came. And because of the practice of last 2.5 years, I feel it's, I mean, better to continue it, because I was getting something, I was getting appreciation, I was getting betterment at my communication. So this was the reason. As usual, I used to connect on as fluency. Even these days also, I used to connect and spend half an hour, whatever time I get there to spend. And yeah, obviously the motive is to be better at. Now my motive has been, you know slightly different, because there, talking about this my earlier day, I was more focused on speaking English, right? How I could be more good at the speaking part, because that's where I was lagging. But this time I know that I'm pretty much comfortable to express my thought, ideology in front of anybody without having any hesitation. So my motive now to speak on this language get a little bit different. Why I'm saying that? Because now I am more focused on to the being better communicator. And I feel the communication and speaking is far different. Communication, you'll have to also add many more things. Like you'll have to be a good listener, your body language, your eye contact, gesture, posture, everything is included there. So now, as far as my motive is being concerned, I'm looking up to being a very good communicator, so that I could connect with the people whom I'm talking to. I could give the more space to them talk about their self as well. So that's where even this is also the motive behind this channel as well. I hope you get all those answers.
yes, I got your point. And I encountered a lot of people in these social media applications. They also suggested that speaking any language is not like just uh, speaking a good grammatical knowledge and speaking with good vocabulary, but it's just like to speak, just like to convey our thoughts to the other person. If we were able to convey our thoughts to the other person, then it's perfect. You are good at speaking, you are good at in language. But coming to nowadays, the people also look for different errors. Like they also see the grammatical errors. They also see the how the person using the vocabulary, etc. That's why the first stage is to just to interact with other people and just to convey your thoughts and convey your messages to the other person. After these stage and coming to the next stage, try to add some little bit of vocabulary and try to improve your grammatical skills so that it would become a better version of themselves.
True, true. I do agree with this point. Even I had already made a video that how much grammar plays important role in your speaking. If you initially,
Mhm.
being obsessed with the grammar, that unless and until I'm being perfect on to grammar, I'm not gonna to speak. So definitely, like your growth will be stagnated. You cannot make this exponential growth, because always before, even saying something, you'd be always thinking about the grammatical portion. I'm making some mistake or not. I would be wrong. So don't ever think about the grammar, about anything. Initially, I'm talking. Just speak
Yes,
whatever comes in your
yes,
mind. Try to articulate those things in form of words. And as you mentioned, as per the time passes, let the grammar be the byproduct of your speaking. So this is very important.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that we had already been talked with more than half an hour, and I really never felt that it's already been half an hour, and now it's gonna to be concluded. But if in short, Ravi, if you have to give one important thing to the audience, that what is the one basic characteristic somebody or some people should have in order to become a great and best communicator? So what would be the one property or one characteristic would be, according to you? What do you feel?
According to me, I will explain those. I will remind those stages. Just the first stage is try to just speak in English, whatever comes into your mind, just convey those thoughts to others. This is a stage one. After you became a good person, good confident person, converting the thoughts, conveying his or her thoughts to other person, then improve. The second level is to improve their grammatical errors. After improving their grammatical errors, the third stage is to improve their vocabulary a little bit, if possible, by reading some of the newspapers, news articles, etc. Yes, these are the three stages which help everyone to be a good communicator, to be a good public speaker. And also, I would like to add one more point here. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says, uh, you know, try to focus on the actions you can do. Don't try to focus on the other things. Just try to focus on the actions which are in your hands. Whatever the result it may be, Lord Shri Krishna says, you will get a perfect result, you will get a good result because he says he is with us. Don't bother about the result, just do your work, do your actions perfectly. Then
Mm.
don't think about the results. That is one more thing I would like to add. That's all from my side, Anshu.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot, Ravi, for your wonderful advices and the lessons you gave from Bhagavad Gita is really marvelous. Thank you. I hope like this conversational video gonna to help a lot of audience who are looking up to this language, right? So I feel they gonna to get more and more about this language from your experience, from my experience. So thank you for joining me. I hope you also enjoyed this session. But at last, I would like to add that if somebody is also interested to have a conversation with me, so do email or send me some message out there so that we can also get connected. But however, thank you, Ravi. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Anshu. Thank you. It has a good to speak with you. I had a great conversation with you.
Same here, man.